Welcome to Knowledge Vista, your one-stop destination for in-depth analysis of iconic movies. We're on a mission to unravel the mysteries and artistry behind the greatest films ever made. Our focus today is a spine-chilling exploration of a monumental horror classic, The Exorcist. This film, with its eerie narrative and electrifying performances, has haunted viewers across generations. But before we take the leap, ensure you're connected with us. Click the subscribe button and the bell icon for timely updates about our newest explorations. As we delve into the world of The Exorcist, we urge you to prepare for a disturbing encounter between the divine and diabolical. Now sit back, turn off the lights if you dare, and let's dive headfirst into the world of demonic possession and the struggle between good and evil that is The Exorcist. As we transition into the narrative, we find ourselves on the doorstep of the McNeil's new home in Georgetown, Washington, D.C. A quintessential old-world charm emanates from the house, its brick facade cloaked in shadows of the towering trees. The narrator's voice deepens. Here lies the stage for our tale. The McNeil's residence, a place that soon transforms from a beacon of warmth and safety into a chilling playground for an insidious entity. The camera pans over the house, the dimly lit windows staring back like vacant, haunted eyes. Inside, the house is filled with unpacked boxes, a symbol of a fresh start that soon spirals into an unimaginable nightmare. The eerie silence is punctuated by distant sounds of the city, a stark reminder of the normal life that exists beyond the confines of these walls. The scene ends with a lingering shot of Regan's room, the epicenter of the forthcoming horror, a chilling premonition of the terrifying events about to unfold. The Exorcist, a classic horror, was released in 1973 by director William Friedkin and is based on a novel. This iconic film, steeped in dark, chilling atmosphere, achieved cult status in the horror genre. William Peter Blatty, the author of the original novel, provided the spine-chilling narrative. The plot centers on a possessed young girl, Regan McNeil. Regan's transformation from a sweet, innocent child to a vessel of dark forces begins to unfold in this part of our story. She starts to display increasingly alarming behaviors that are far from normal. She begins to levitate, her body floating above her bed, defying the laws of gravity. Her eyes roll back, revealing only the whites, and her voice changes drastically, becoming guttural and foreign. She speaks in languages she has never learned, her words a terrifying mix of ancient tongues and demonic gibberish. Her room, once a sanctuary of childhood innocence, now becomes a chilling stage for these supernatural occurrences. Toys lay abandoned, a stark contrast to the terrifying spectacle. The room's temperature drops inexplicably, breath becoming visible in the icy cold. An unnerving aroma of decay permeates the air, a sinister sign of the malevolent presence within Regan. Her mother, Chris, watches in terror as her daughter transforms before her eyes, the medical professionals unable to provide any logical explanation. This marks the start of her desperate quest to save Regan, setting the stage for the eerie happenings about to unfold. Actress Chris McNeil and her daughter Regan relocate to Washington, D.C., initiating a sequence of eerie happenings. Regan begins to act strangely, displaying unsettling behaviors. Growing concerned, Chris turns to medical professionals for assistance. As the voiceover narrates, we witness a chilling montage of Regan's transformation. Her skin becomes pallid, her eyes sink into dark shadows, and her voice morphs into a guttural rasp. The once lively and vibrant girl is now a haunting shell of her former self. The video shows various clips of her erratic behavior, escalating the sense of dread. The atmosphere in the McNeil home becomes increasingly tense, the air heavy with an unspoken fear. Regan's transformation is not just physical, the voiceover explains, but a clear reflection of the malevolent entity claiming her. The scene ends with a shot of a desperate Chris, her face etched with worry as she dials Father Karras's number. Despite medical examinations, Regan's condition worsens. Distressed, Chris seeks help from Father Karras, a conflicted Jesuit priest. Despite his wavering faith, he decides to help Chris, hoping to find his own redemption in the process. He eventually agrees to perform an exorcism. As the gravity of the situation becomes clear, Father Karras and Father Marin prepare themselves for the impending spiritual warfare. We hear the voiceover, "In the face of the inexplicable, faith is our only shield." In the quiet of the night, two priests, both vastly different yet united in purpose, prepare for a battle unlike any they have faced before. They gather the necessary tools for the exorcism, holy water, a crucifix, the Ritual Romanum, the official manual of exorcisms. The camera pans over these items, each one a symbol of their faith, their only defense against the malevolent force possessing Regan. The priests are seen in silent prayer, their faces etched with determination and fear. The voiceover continues. In the stillness before the storm, they find solace in prayer, seeking strength from the divine. The stage is set, the players are ready, the battle for Regan's soul is about to begin. The scene ends on a chilling note as the camera pans towards the ominously closed door of Regan's room, hinting at the terrifying ordeal that lies ahead. The voiceover concludes, "Beneath that door lies a girl, a demon, and a battleground. The question remains, who will emerge victorious?" Father Marin, an experienced exorcist, joins Father Karras in the battle against the demonic force possessing Regan. In the quiet Washington, D.C. suburb, the eerie presence of a malevolent force becomes palpable. The bedroom atmosphere is rife with supernatural horror. Intense and spine-chilling, the exorcism scenes unfold. Shadows dance, objects move as the room becomes a battleground for good and evil. The dramatic tension is palpable as the courageous priests confront the demonic entity, their faith pushed to the breaking point. The intense and horrifying exorcism scenes unfold, testing the priests' resolve. As the dust settles from the initial exorcism attempts, the room falls into an eerie silence. The voiceover begins. In the chilling quiet, the priests gather their strength, their faith being the only weapon against the unimaginable evil they face. Their eyes lock onto the seemingly innocent figure of Regan, now a vessel for the demonic entity, Pazuzu. Suddenly, the room plunges into darkness, the only light emanating from the flickering candles casting long, ominous shadows. The voiceover continues. In the pitch-black room, the shadows twist and contort, mirroring the tumultuous struggle unfolding. The air is thick with tension, the eerie silence broken by the chilling whispers of Pazuzu. The priests stand their ground, their voices rising in unison as they recite the sacred rites. The voiceover adds, their voices echo through the room, a beacon of hope in the engulfing darkness. Each word, each prayer is a direct challenge to Pazuzu. The room trembles, objects shake, and the air is filled with a supernatural energy. The scene reaches a crescendo as Pazuzu responds to their challenge. The voiceover concludes, with a deafening roar, Pazuzu retaliates. The room convulses in response, a testament to the immense power they are facing. Yet, the priests remain steadfast, their faith unwavering. The battle for Regan's soul is far from over. The exorcism reaches its climax, revealing the demonic entity as Pazuzu. Straining against unseen forces, the priests are ensnared in a supernatural struggle. They confront a myriad of trials, pushing their faith to the brink. Each incantation, every prayer, is met with fierce resistance. Their singular goal, to liberate Regan from this malevolent presence. The priests face numerous challenges as they attempt to cast out the demon from Regan's body. In the eerie silence that follows the exorcism, we glimpse the aftermath of the spiritual battle. The voiceover begins, in the wake of the climactic exorcism, the McNeil household is shrouded in an almost tangible silence. The havoc wreaked by Pazuzu is evident, with the room bearing the scars of the supernatural struggle. The narrative then shifts to Regan. Regan, once the unwilling host of the demonic entity, now lies still on her bed. Her face, previously distorted by the possession, gradually regains its innocence. The terror that once dwelled in her eyes is replaced by a glimmer of relief. The focus then moves to the priests. In the corner of the room, Father Marin and Father Karras, the spiritual warriors of this battle, lay exhausted. Their countenances reflect the toll the exorcism has taken on them, both physically and spiritually. Yet in their eyes, there's a glimmer of triumph. The voiceover concludes, as Regan starts her journey towards recovery and the priests bear the weight of their sacrifices, the once ominous abode begins to shed its darkness. However, the scars of the battle are far from healed, and the effects of the possession continue to echo, setting the stage for the subsequent events. The exorcism culminates in profound sacrifices from the priests. Regan, the innocent victim of the demonic entity, finally experiences liberation from the terrifying possession that plagued her. However, this victory is marred by the tragic loss of Father Karras, who succumbs to the fatal injuries sustained in the spiritual battle. Chris and Regan, weary and scarred, make the decision to leave their haunted home. Meanwhile, Kinderman, a determined detective probing into the enigmatic deaths, seeks answers from Father Dyer about the chilling series of events. As the eerie strains of Mike Oldfield's Tubular Bells waft in the background, we transition into a montage of iconic scenes from The Exorcist, each clip a testament to the film's enduring legacy. The chilling image of Regan's transformation, the terrifying exorcism scene, and the heart-wrenching sacrifice of Father Karras, each frame rekindles the horror that once held audiences captive. Simultaneously, we intercut reactions of moviegoers from the 70s, their faces reflecting the raw fear and shock induced by the film. We hear from contemporary critics and filmmakers, their words underlining the film's groundbreaking impact on the horror genre and its influence on subsequent works. We transition to a visual of a packed theater, the audience on the edge of their seats, their eyes wide with anticipation. The camera focuses on a young woman clutching her popcorn tightly, her knuckles white. As Regan's demonic voice resonates through the theater, her popcorn spills, her scream merging with the collective gasp of the audience. The voiceover chimes in, "The Exorcist, a film that redefined horror, continues to echo in the annals of cinema. Its legacy, a chilling reminder of the power of fear, the strength of faith, and the enduring fascination with the supernatural. Almost half a century later, the echoes of its horror still reverberate, reminding us of the film that dared to push the boundaries, and in doing so, became a timeless classic." The Exorcist is renowned for its intense atmosphere, groundbreaking special effects, and exploration of faith and the supernatural. This memorable film, released in 1973, shook the moviegoers with its outstanding portrayal of an exorcism. It not only terrified audiences but also transcended horrors, becoming an exploration of faith, doubt, and the enduring mystery of the supernatural. With its innovative use of special effects, it pushed the boundaries of what could be achieved visually in film. The stellar performances by the cast, including the unforgettable Linda Blair, amplified the film's chilling intensity. It remains a landmark in the horror genre,